The first thing that we need to do is read through the problem thoroughly. So pause the video, read through this thoroughly, get a good sense of what's happening, and then you can press play again. Great. Now that you've read through, you notice that he's investing his money, which is $20,000, in 3 different ways. The first way, it's 20% of the money. The next way is 50% of his money, and the third way, just leaving the money alone, is 30%. So what I've done is I've simply divided up into 3 columns because that's the 3 ways we'll be investing the money. Now, 20,000 times 20%, you guys should have these figures down. Pause the video, get the figures. 20,000 times 20%, that's $4,000. Half of 20,000 is 10,000, and 30% is 6,000. Let's look at each component piece, because ultimately we want to know how much money we'll have after 12 years of investing using this plan. That means ultimately I'm going to add all 3 of these up to get some total. Here I know the total already. He's just leaving his money alone. Nothing's going to happen. So I can just write 6,000 down and know that I finished with that. In the first part it says that he's going to place 20% of his money, that's $4,000. It's going to compound continuously, and continuous compounding means that I need to write that P equals to RT equation. So it's going to be 4,000 times E. 4,000 will be the principal. E is there, and then the rate is 0.09. And he says that's going to happen for the first 3 years. So that'll be 3. And then it's going to happen at 12% after that. So the first thing that I need to do is find out what this value is, and then that value will dictate what happens to the next part of the problem. Let's call this A. A is 4,000 times E to the 0.09 times 3. The next part of the problem says it's going to invest at 12% after the 3rd year. Well, that would be year 3 through year 12, so that would be 9 years. So in other words, the new amount would be A, E to the 0.12 times 9. So we need to calculate this, and then calculate this, add them together, and that gives you the number for right here. And again, this is 0.12 times 9. The middle part of the problem says that half of his money is going to in stock that pays 8% annual interest compounded quarterly. Compounding quarterly looks a little different. That looks like the whole thing where, okay, so it's $10,000 times, this is the discrete compounding model. So it's 1, listen carefully, 1 plus R over N, parentheses, to the NT power. Remember, this is the P, the principal. Let me just write that formula out first, and we'll fill in the blanks. So it's 10,000 times 1 plus the rate is 8%. All over N. Well, N represents how often this money is being compounded. It's quarterly. Quarterly is how many times per year? Good, 4 times per year. And that's 4 up here too, because N is up there too, times T. Well, T represents 12 years, so 12 goes there. I calculate this, and that goes there. all I need to do at this point is add all three together, and I've got the total amount. Go ahead and calculate that, and I'm sure you'll do great.